Hello world, UB here, and today we're going to play with some new logo designs for the channel, so let's get started. On stream the other day, I decided to play with a couple of different possible logo designs for the channel because I go by Unfinished Business as my tag online, and also my business is called Unfinished Business, so it's a very pervasive thing for me. I really want that to drive home with all of my branding, which is something that I haven't spent a lot of time on in the past because there's been a lot of changes in what I've been trying to do. So I wanted to be a little bit more intentional about my logo, and I wanted to add a ghost in there in order to show off the unfinished business portion of it. Unfinished business is why I go by UB. I really enjoy it myself because I'm a spooky person. So I want to kind of put that out there in the world. And so I decided to draw a couple of different designs and pick one at the end. And I think I'm a little bit torn between two of them, but the one that I thought was going to be my absolute favorite actually turns out to not be. So let's talk about it. This first design is kind of inspired by a teacup that one of my friends gave me a couple of years ago, and I kept the teacup even though we haven't really spoken in a while because it's really adorable. I really adore it, and unfortunately last year while I was doing one of my makeups, I accidentally shifted the teacup off of a shelf and it fell down onto the floor and shattered. And I kept the pieces of the teacup because I want to put it back together in an art piece or put it back together so that I can drink from it or something at some point. I just haven't decided exactly what I want to do with it yet, so the pieces still sit in a little Tupperware container under my desk, which I keep looking at. It makes me really happy because it says "try your best" on the front of it, and it's just really adorable. It's got polka dots inside of it. I absolutely love this teacup, so I thought I would kind of incorporate that into the logo design and just put my little ghostie popping out of it. And this design obviously needs some color correction by the end, but I really didn't want to do that on stream. I just wanted to get it over with and deal with replacing colors later. That was the basic idea behind this first design, and that turned out pretty well. I thought that this one was going to be my favorite because of the teacup that I chose to put in there, but it turned out to be a little less engaging than I think one of my other ones is. So let's talk about the other two and then we can talk about that a little more. This second design, I tried to give the ghost a little paintbrush and a pencil because that's kind of what I do on the channel. It is UB Draws. So I thought I would do that, and I ended up making the paintbrush and the pencil a little bit bigger by the end because in a logo it's very tiny on your screen, and I wanted to make sure that people could actually see the elements that I put in there. I think they're still a little too small, and I also tried a version of the ghost where it just comes off to a point, and that's a very traditional ghost shape. I don't really like it in this design necessarily. I usually don't like it because I kind of conflate that like tapered off point with genies, but when it's done well, I really enjoy it, and I want to put out there that I actually really enjoy the way that Arcandio did like the tapered point of the ghost in my intro, but you'll have to keep an eye out for that because it's kind of hard to see once he put the window and everything on top of it, but that's a little Easter egg that I really enjoyed how Arcandio did that, so keep an eye out when we get to the end of the video. And as far as my third design goes, I actually took kind of this design of the bottom of the ghost from some pictures that I found on Google. I kind of mishmashed a bunch of reference photos in order to get this kind of ghosty design. And then I gave them a giant pencil, and I'm gonna show you why. I didn't make the Ghosties pencil blue, but I have this giant pencil that I got from Goodwill years ago, and I have decorated it up. It needs a touch-up for sure. I kind of wanted to do an homage to the giant pencil, and since it's UB Draws, it made sense to me to give the Ghosty a pencil. So this is what's gonna be in my thumbnail, I think, at this point, but anyway, so Ghosty number 3 just has a giant pencil, and I think it's really cute. I think it's easy to see, and actually this third design is my favorite. I might play with the teacup design a little bit more and see if I can make it more of a favorite for me, but in all likelihood, this third one is probably going to be my logo, and I'm not heartbroken about it. It's just surprising. But with all that being said, I'm going to let you go for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much to all of my patrons. I'm trying to get back into my routine, and it's actually going very well. Please tune in on Twitch. Life is great, and we even planned my Halloween costume for the year this week. So tune in, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff going on, and don't forget to drink some water, subscribe, like, all of that good stuff, and I will talk to you next week. Peace.